So something nobody knows about, except for my wife, is that I've been running this entire channel on a 14-year-old computer. And I started filming on a Samsung S7 phone, and then I stole my wife's S10 phone, and that's currently what I'm using right now to film. Now I'm realizing, since my channel is growing, I'm going to have to upgrade a few things. I'm at almost 18,000 subscribers on YouTube. I somehow got to 75,000 on Instagram. Wow. Now I'm not trying to brag or anything. There's much bigger content creators out there. My goal is to maybe motivate other people who might be thinking about starting a channel to go ahead and start. You don't need fancy equipment to do so. In fact, let me show you my janky looking microphone setup right now. I mean, that ain't right, but I do it anyways. So anyhow, I'm just going to build a computer today. I've never done it before. I think it'll be a great learning experience. I watched a million videos online, spent the last few days ordering a ton of parts from Amazon and Best Buy. I wanted to try Newegg, but their prices were always a little bit higher once you factored in the shipping. All right, let's open up some boxes and take a look at what's inside. Now I'm realizing as I'm editing, I might be contradicting myself here by talking about how I'm using old equipment and then opening up a whole bunch of boxes of new equipment. But I guess the whole point was to kind of show you how far I was able to make it up until this point. I feel like I accomplished a fair bit on a 14-year-old computer and old phones for filming, and I think that proves right there that it is possible. And so if you only have an old phone, an old computer, and you really want to start a YouTube channel but you're reluctant to because of your gear, I say go for it, man. Just try it out, see where it goes. You might be surprised. If you have a newer phone, even better. If you don't have a desktop, you can download apps directly onto your phone now and start editing on there. Now, I do find the desktop is a lot more intuitive and easier to use, and so I would definitely recommend that if you could get your hands on a desktop. If you have an old desktop with an old hard drive in it, the one with the disk, even a laptop actually, I would highly recommend you change from hard drives to SSD drives. And that's actually something that I did in both my computers. I had an old desktop and an old laptop, and easily 10 times faster. And my programs, the software that I was using, stopped crashing. And I guess I should mention what software I am using. I actually started with OpenShot. Computer couldn't really handle it, but it wasn't a bad program. Then I tried Clipchamp, and I found that there's just too much clutter on Clipchamp. There's just stuff everywhere, unnecessary clutter. I don't even know how to explain it. There's just too much on the screen and I don't like it. But it did work. But now I use CapCut, and I've actually been using CapCut for, I don't know, probably at least 6 months, and it's been amazing. I can't believe how well it works on an old system. It's nice and simple. It's not cluttered, and yeah, it's really easy to just hop onto YouTube and find out how to do something that I haven't done before. Now I'm probably also going to upgrade my phone. I'll probably get a Pixel 8. I think I want to try that phone. I think a combination of phone filming and a GoPro for me in the future. I do have to get my camera in a lot of weird positions when I'm working on my DIY projects in the garage, and it gets quite dirty and messy down there, and I don't think I really want to get a $2,000 camera just to have sawdust fly all over it, you know? I actually have a very old Canon 40D, which I'm planning on converting into a webcam. Apparently you can update the firmware in some of these old cameras, and you can turn them into really high quality web cameras. So basically, these cameras don't shoot video because they're so old, but you can connect them to your computer and basically start filming through your computer. So that'll probably work better for me in my studio here, which is just my spare bedroom over here. And so yeah, anyways, I'm just trying to throw out some ideas for you guys. You don't know what you don't know, right? And I'm still learning a lot of things, and I rely heavily on YouTube for teaching me. All right, so my desk is cleared, and I think I'm ready to start building. I'm just waiting for the power supply, but that is coming in the mail today. But I wanted to run through all the hardware that I chose for this build. I went for a mid-range build, so it wasn't too expensive, but everything's expensive these days. I also don't have the GPU, basically because I can't make up my mind, but I eventually will. It's a toss-up between the 3060 and the 4060. So why don't we start with the CPU? I ended up going with an Intel Core i5 12600K, And I went with this because it had really good reviews. It's good bang for your buck, and it's supposed to be pretty good for editing as well. The motherboard is the MSI Pro B760MA Wi-Fi DDR4. I don't know what any of that means. Just kidding, I read a bunch of reviews. This was probably the most annoying thing to figure out. Reviews are kind of hit and miss on every single motherboard, so I think this will meet my needs. It's also got 2 M.2 slots and a whole bunch of connectors for extra SATA SSD drives if I want to expand my storage. Which I guess we could talk about that storage right now since I'm talking about it. I went with a Crucial T500 M.2, 1 terabyte to start with. I'm waiting for a Black Friday sale to buy another M.2, and I'll probably go for another terabyte, and then I'll probably just keep adding SSDs as I need them. Now the RAM, this is kind of cool. I went for a 64 gigabyte DDR4 RAM. I started with 16 in my mind, and then I was like, no, I need 32. But the more I read about video editing versus gaming, editors can eat through 32 gigs of RAM pretty easily, and 64 gigabytes is highly recommended. So that's why I went with the 64 there. And this is my CPU fan. I went for the Assassin X120 RSE. I pulled it out of the box already and took a peek. I'll show you guys. It looks pretty badass. It was like $26 Canadian. It has the ARGB lighting to it, and it looks pretty sick. I'm very, very impressed. So we'll take a peek at that. And then I got some extra RBG fans over there because, it's all about the RBGs these days. Yeah, and I think the fan comes with thermal paste to attach to the CPU. So, the case. Yeah, let's talk about that too. I went with the, Asus GT301 from Tough Gaming. First impression, I took the glass panel off and the back panel off already. I think it looks freaking great. It feels solid. It's got a really nice, almost like a matte, flat black paint on here. And just like it feels good. It looks good. It's got some filters on top and the bottom. And one of the reasons I chose this case actually was because of the size. A lot of the cases for around the $100 range were quite a bit smaller than this. And I wanted something similar to my old computer because I knew I wanted to fit a bunch of stuff in there, including a big GPU. So lots of space in there. It comes with 4 fans, 3 in the front that are ARGB and 1 regular one in the back. And the other thing that's kind of cool, apparently I can attach 3 more fans to this controller here, and it's just going to make my life a lot easier instead of having to find all the bits and pieces on the motherboard. I think we'll get to that later. We'll find out. But yeah, all the lights should be adjustable in the end once I get this thing together. So I'm pretty stoked. Let's I guess we should start building. And as I'm building, hopefully my power supply will come in the mail. Alright guys, I'm about to test the motherboard. I've got my instructions over there. I've got everything plugged in. Let me just flip the camera around. Everything is hooked up to the power supply. I've got the 24-pin ATX and my CPU power cable. I've also hooked up an HDMI cable to my monitor. And yeah, we'll see if this boots up. Apparently, if I touch a couple of those prongs together with a screwdriver, I know, doesn't seem right, does it? But apparently, if I do that, I can jumpstart the system and it should work. So this will either be a huge win or the blooper of the year. Let's find out. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and turn the power onto the power supply. I don't think we'll see anything, but here it goes. All right, so nothing's happening, but that's because technically everything should be off still. So yeah, let me touch those two prongs there and see what happens. I need to get in a better position here. Oh my God. Do you see that? Hold on. It's on. We've got power. Oh. Oh, it turned off. Turn back on. Okay, I have read that this is normal when the motherboard and CPU are syncing with the RAM. Or something like that. Anyways, oh, damn. Look over here. All right. Cool. Well, I guess that's working then. Nice. Whew, I was definitely nervous there. I don't really work with electronics, ever. Just usually woodworking and random pallet wood projects. Nice. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Before I hit that power button and show you the grand finale, I just want to say a few things. First off, this video is not sponsored. I probably should have mentioned that at the beginning of the video. I paid for all the parts myself, and I'm going to highly recommend all of them because it all worked out so well. Considering this is my first build, everything was compatible. Everything booted up the first try, all the fans worked, all the LEDs worked. I was able to download and install Windows 11, all the drivers for the motherboard and the GPU. And you saw there that I did make up my mind on the GPU. I went with the GeForce RTX 3060. And it was a toss-up between that one and the 4060. And if you do a little Googling, you'll see there's a little bit of controversy with those two GPUs. I ended up settling on the 3060 because it has more VRAM. And I think that's going to help me out for video editing. They're both the same price. They would both be about $450 Canadian with tax, which was a little hit there. I didn't realize GPUs were so expensive, and it's definitely not a top-end GPU, nowhere near. I think those ones are going for like $2,000. But anyways, I'm happy with this one, and I actually edited this entire video on my new computer, and it blew my mind. I did a test export on a 15-minute video, and I was able to export it in 1 minute and 45 seconds. My old computer would have taken probably 25 to 30 minutes. However, the whole point of the video was kind of to say, hey, if you have old equipment, you can make videos using that as well. And now, sure, I might complain about 25-minute exports, but it did export and it did work. And I was able to make almost 100 videos between my Instagram account and my YouTube. And actually, there's even more unlisted videos on my YouTube, which you can't see. But yeah, I definitely made over 100 videos using this old computer, filming in 1080p. It can't handle 2K, so 1080p, and filming on a Samsung S7 and S10. And it worked. It worked. So it is possible. It is time to upgrade, though. The thing that really pushed me to want to upgrade was actually wanting to switch from 1080p to 2K video filming. And my old computer could not even play the video. I'm sure there's people out there that probably have an 8 or 9-year-old computer, and I don't know, maybe it can handle 2K, I'm not sure. But 1080p, no problem. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Enjoy those final shots.